The New York Knicks traded for Derrick Rose. That's Rivers' favorite player of all time outside of Steph Curry. And the Knicks acquired Derrick Rose. The Pistons acquired Dennis Smith Jr. and a second-round pick. So, Riv, I'll start with you. What do you think Derrick Rose brings to the Knicks, and what do you think the Pistons got in this trade?
Well, I think the Pistons just got off a Derrick Rose contract. I think it was nothing major out of them. They just wanted to get him out of there. They wanted to see D Rose finish the last leg of his career. And Thibodeau really wanted D Rose badly. I think for the Knicks, you get a guy who can score off the bench, who's willing to mentor and show that leadership role to the young guys like Quickly and RJ Barrett. And he can definitely teach them a thing or two because he was in that Thibodeau system for a very long time. You also get a guy who's going to score, come off the bench. He can play make. He's not really a good defender, and the Knicks pride on defense now, but they're not that good offensively. So this is a guy who can bring that up a bit. But I think just mainly the mentorship qualities, the leadership quality. You know, he's seen the ups and downs in the NBA. He's been at the top of the helm. He's been at the bottom. So I think bringing that to the game and explaining that to the young guys, I think that would definitely help them out.
I love this move. You want to go first, Jack?
You can go.
Okay, I love this move because this means that Elfrid Payton might be one step to getting traded, one step closer to getting traded. Elfrid Payton's he's playing great. He's having a career year, but I think his lack of shooting really hurts the Knicks. But I think this was a perfect move for what you just stated. Derrick Rose is going to be the perfect mentor. When he got to New York, he told Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin that he was here to be their mentor. And he's been a really good player for the past couple of seasons. He's not that same MVP that he once was. That was a long, long time ago. And it just makes me realize how much older I'm getting. But this past year, he's averaging 14 points per game, shooting 42% from the field and 33% from the three. In 2018 and 2019, he averaged 18 points per game. And when you look at the Knicks roster, they need another scorer. And when they faced the Bulls, I believe they faced them. That was Derrick Rose's first game. Oh, no, it was against the Heat. Derrick Rose's first game with the Knicks, it was against the Heat. And Derrick Rose took Austin Rivers minutes. And Austin Rivers had an explosion against Utah. But ever since then, he's been really up and down. And I kind of like this lineup of Derrick Rose coming off the bench with Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley. Because Emmanuel Quickley, he's been a really good scorer, but he's not much of a playmaker, and Obi Toppin needs a veteran point guard to get him to his spots when he's coming into the game.
Yeah, and I think you guys hit on the most important part of the deal. Obviously, D Rose can still be a big contributor for any team in the league, especially like a championship caliber team, which is where I thought the Pistons would end up sending him. But he's been with Tom Thibodeau every step of his career. Everywhere that Tom Thibodeau has been a head coach, Derrick Rose has been there, so you know they had that connection. Derrick Rose knows what Tom Thibodeau wants, and he just brings that aspect of leadership, mentorship, and especially on a team with some important young guys that they need to develop, starting with Emmanuel Quickley, followed by RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, even guys like Kevin Knox, maybe Mitchell Robinson. All those guys can use a veteran figure in the locker room like Derrick Rose, who's been around the league. He's seen the highs and the lows, and I think that is the main thing that this move brings the Knicks. I don't know if the Knicks are a playoff team. The way the standings look, like I think they could sneak into one of those play-in games, but I don't think that that's what this move is about. I think it's about growing their young talent and looking towards the future, which is great for the Knicks because I feel like this isn't something that we've seen out of them over the past decade. It's all been, in the mindset of let's win right now. And this is kind of, okay, let's play the long game. We see where we're at and we see what we need. And then for the Pistons, like Riv said, you get off Derrick Rose's contract. And in the deal, you get back Dennis Smith Jr. Does he ever pan out? No. It would be a long shot at this point, but he's still got potential. I mean, you take a shot on him in Detroit where they don't really have anything to lose at this point. And it's better than having Derrick Rose at 30 years old, sitting on the roster, only getting older.
I'll be honest. I actually like Dennis Smith Jr. going to the Pistons more than I do Derrick Rose to the Knicks because even though the Knicks got Derrick Rose, it's not certain that they will make the playoffs. I think it gives them a better chance. But now they have to trade Elfrid Payton. I'm not sure where he's going to go. And maybe they try to trade Austin Rivers. I'm not too sure. I like this for the Pistons because We seen another guy before the season. We thought he was a lost cause, Josh Jackson. We all thought Josh Jackson was a lost cause. He goes to Detroit, and he's not playing phenomenal, but
playing better than he ever
reviving
has.
his career. And I think that's a credit to Dwayne Casey and the culture that he's building in Detroit. You look at somebody else that's thriving over there, DeLon Wright. He's doing his thing. Killian Hayes is out with an injury right now. Dennis Smith Jr. was gonna be in the G League. He wasn't even getting minutes. So now he has an opportunity, and I think he's hungry for that. And Dwayne Casey is going to bring the best out of Dennis Smith Jr. I think that he's going to shock us a little bit. I think he's going to shock us a little bit.
And I'd also say I would love to see Elfrid Payton now moved, because the one criticism I've had of Tom Thibodeau this year is the rotations. I don't love how he uses his minutes some nights, and I feel like Emmanuel quickly needs to get more consistent minutes, and having Rivers, Payton, Rose quickly, like it'll be tough to manage all those minutes. So if you could move Elfrid Payton and maybe Rivers, but I don't think Rivers is actually playing well, so
he hasn't been playing.
Well, who starts then? You move out Payton, you would put Rose at the 1 to start?
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind starting quickly, honestly.
Because I think Payton fits their scheme defensively. You know, he's been really good defensively this year, and I think that's what the Knicks predicate on right now, defense. And I think, you know, Rose coming off the bench with those young guys, I mean, you've seen it against the Heat. Obi Toppin looked better than he did in most nights. Quickly was more comfortable playing that 2-guard spot while Rose was running the 1. So I think him coming off the bench with the young guys is the best case scenario for you guys. I mean, Payton, I don't see him having a future there. I just think this is a rental year. But keeping both those guys, I think right now, because I think you guys are a playing team. You guys could definitely be a playing team. Because I like teams that play defense. So I think you guys could definitely get in. And best case scenario, you do get in. You know, Derrick Rose also brings that playoff experience. It's a good first, even if you guys lose, it's a good first step for the young guys to get that playoff atmosphere feeling and to get that experience early.
The only reason I say that is because, like, I'm looking at Emmanuel Quickly's game log right now, and he had 21 minutes last night against the Heat, which I guess is all right, but then he went 17 minutes, 13 minutes, 13 minutes.
Oh, I can explain that. That's a Thibodeau thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, like, I don't love that.
Yeah, he has problems with playing. He's like a Popovich in the sense of playing rookies that aren't like, you know.
I personally, I think it will be beneficial to give Emmanuel Quickly a set amount of minutes that is near or above 20 minutes a night. I think he should be getting that. He's been playing well enough, and it will only help his development.
Yeah, I agree with that too, but I also think it depends on the night, because Quickly is a streaky guy sometimes. So if Thibodeau feels like he doesn't have it going certain nights, he won't play him that much. But, you know, I think for the Knicks, it gives them a better chance to make the playoffs or play in the play-in game. And for the Pistons, they're just trying to get some young talent in the building